Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out HBAR's price chart, and I'm going to argue why the current move may actually continue just a bit more. But before we get into all that good stuff, let me actually be a bit bullish and talk about the possibility of having starting from here, hopefully 5 wave up into a wave 1, probably to around this high, followed by a correction for wave 2, and after this move down in the short term is over, what are we going to have? Hopefully a massive move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5, and pay attention, on a higher degree, this white 5 wave is actually going to be into wave 3, followed by a correction for another move up into wave 5, so on and so forth. So overall, do not get it twisted. I think HBAR is looking fantastic and bullish, and if you are going to have an alt season in this cycle, which I am kind of convinced that we are going to have it, HBAR is going to once more hopefully participate in that, and your patience, in my view, will actually be rewarded big time. Now, having said all that, what is going on in the short term? You know what? The structures in here can absolutely be up for debate. If you remember, the last time that we talked about Hedera, we were around this area, and the idea was that maybe we are having in here, starting from this high, an A, B, C zigzag, which the subwaves for it are going to be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into A, correction for wave B, let's say as an example, BC, and yet another 5 down into wave C, right in here. Now let's go on the live chart and count some waves. So again, the last time that we talked about Hedera, we were in here, and then we got something like this, which in my view is probably going to be, I'm thinking about actually an A, B, C in form of possibly an expanded flat, which the subwaves for it are going to be like this. Actually, before that, this is our initial move up into A, correction for wave B, which in it we're going to take this low, and then another move on the upside into our C leg, and again, for the subwaves, ABC into A, ABC into B, excuse me, and a 5 wave up into our C leg. Whoa, what just happened? There we go. If I just go on the live chart, okay, you see, in some charts in Hedera, we didn't actually, in this specific phase down, take the loss. And if you want to say that's happening, then okay, I guess you do have a decent argument for having in here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but unfortunately, that's actually going to be on a higher degree into the C leg of an ABC expanded flat, starting from this point right in here, something like this. Now, what do we have so far? This is 5 wave down, this is correction up. Well, this is a bit of a bearish setup, suggesting, you know what, on a higher degree, we are probably having an A, B, and what's next? Yes, you guessed it right, another move on the downside into our C leg. Now, do we have some more reasons to believe maybe our move down in the short term is going to continue? The answer is yes. You see, whenever you are having a range, something like this, and the price is constantly going up and down, a lot of people around the lows are going to take some long positions in hope that we actually get a break out of this region. On the other hand, around the highs, a lot of people are going to this time take some short positions in hope that we see a massive breakdown and they make quite a bit of money. Now, question, what is the price going to do? Well, in my view, at least for those short-term traders, it's actually going to destroy them all. How? Here is how. We may see an initial move on the upside in order to hit a lot of those stop losses that are above the highs right in here, but then just in here, when a lot of people are going to argue, okay, this move is going to continue big time, you are going to see all of a sudden a move down in order to also hit a lot of those stop losses that were under the lows, and those people who took long positions and short positions are going to get destroyed all at the same time. Now, here's a very important point. In Hedera, I think we are having something like this. Let's just do this. Okay. As you can see, we are having in here a couple of lows very close together. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lows in here are quite close together. So I'm going to argue a lot of people most likely have opened some long positions in here, and they have put their stop losses under the lows. So in the short term, from my POV at least, makes sense for the price to go down once more and clear all the lows and hit those beautiful stop losses and destroy those people. This is my argument for why I believe we are going to get a move down. Also, if you want to look at what is going on in here from classic TA's perspective, then okay, seems like that we are having a short-term support area right in here. However, this is actually quite weak at the moment. Why? Because why do we say this is, for example, a support area? Because around it, we do have people putting some long positions. And let's say we are having initially 20 longs in here. The first time that the price is going to touch this area, let's say 5 of those orders are going to get activated. And as a result, we are going to have only 15 remaining. Another time, we're going to touch the price. Let's say another 5 are going to get activated. We're going to have only 10 orders. Another time, another 5 are going to get activated. And there will be a time when we are going to touch this region and there's simply not going to be any long positions. Meaning what? At that point, we are probably going to go under here, followed by that a pullback. And guess what? The next move is a continuation of this specific phase down right in here. Meaning overall, we are going to break this area. So what's the conclusion? The more times that we are touching a support or a resistance area, contrary to popular belief, that region is actually going to get weaker and weaker. And I just showed you earlier, we touched this region over 6-7 times. So from my POV, this isn't actually that much of a strong support, and odds are soon in Hedera you are going to see a move followed by a pullback and then a continuation of the move there. But again, do not get me wrong. Overall, I still believe that this is going to be an ABC zigzag, which on a higher degree might be into this wave Y, completing a beautiful WXY in form of a double zigzag, meaning what? Yes, you guessed it right. We are still having a beautiful bullish setup, a correction structure down into wave 2, and what's next? Hopefully a strong move on the upside into wave 3 and 4 and 5. So for the reasons that we talked about in today's update, in my view, our move down in Hedera is going to continue. And if I just go on 15-minute time frame, excuse me, okay, so you see, in my view, we are probably having from this point 5 down into 1 correction for wave 2, and then 1 2 3 4 5 wave down into wave 3 correction for 4, and guess what is next? Yes, absolutely, you guessed it right, another move on the downside into wave 5. So, you know, let's not get our hopes up too much and say from here we're going to get a massive move on the upside. So in case that scenario doesn't really play out, we're not going to be surprised and also disappointed at all. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Hedera's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.